Hey everybody, welcome to Two Comic Book Dudes. This is a special video game episode. We haven't done one of those really before, so maybe it'll be something new. Maybe it'll just end up sucking, and you won't want to watch it, and we won't do any more. But you never know.
Possible. Very possible.
As always, I'm Aaron Clutter, editor in chief of Comic Booked, and with me over there.
Go over here. Hey, everybody. Justin Paget, managing editor over at Comic Book.
So we're going to take a look at a brand new video game release. Just came out on the 28th of August. So I mean, not brand new, but it's brand new enough. Just came out a few days ago.
Yeah.
So it's Disney Infinity 3.0, and I don't know if any of you have ever played any of the Disney Infinity games. Disney has created this a couple years ago with the 1.0 version, and it's a game that just has a lot of different aspects to it. I've done reviews on our site, comicbook.com, for 1.0 and 2.0, and a few other articles on 2.0 showing some of the different characters that came out. But the coolest thing about this game is the way that they do the way that you actually play. So it was pretty innovative. The game itself, for 3.0, and I'm doing the Xbox One version because that's what I play on. So the game itself comes in, box. You got your disc. I mean, it's pretty simple, basic stuff, right? Then you have this platform that comes in, and the platform has two circles, and they're character circles, and then this is a playset square, cube kind of thing, and it's got a USB cable. It plugs right into your whatever platform you're playing with. So they have versions for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, and the Wii U. So depending on what you play, there's something available. They don't have anything for the handhelds, like for the Vita or the 3DS or anything like that. But this is something that really is more based on the consoles. So this and this are really all you need to play. And that starter that I showed you, this is the starter box, and you can pick this up anywhere. Walmart, Best Buy, all those places have it. It comes with the platform, the game, and it also comes with this, which is a play set piece. And I know it might be a little hard to see because it is clear, but it's got two crossed lightsabers with a little insignia on the front. That is the Rebels insignia.
Okay, cool. Yep, I see.
So that's pretty neat. Or is it the Jedi? Whatever. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. But this piece sits on your platform here, like that. It's hard to see when I'm not looking at it, right? Okay. And then you get these really cool sculpted figures. There's Anakin.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And there's a little chip in the bottom there that gets red. And then also Ahsoka, and she's got a little chip, crossed lightsabers in the back. I think that's pretty awesome. I like the sculpt on her. It's pretty cool. And those guys, you do the same thing. You put those right into those rings, and so your platform ends up looking like that. Two characters. Okay. So this is a two-player game. Your characters come up in the game itself. As you put them on, they have a little swirl of sparks on the screen, and bling, they're in the game. And then you get to play as them. In 2.0, they introduced a really cool skill tree process for each character. In 1.0, you had a lot of different characters. You had Toy Story characters. So you had Buzz Lightyear. You had Woody. You had who else was in there? The girl. Shoot.
Bo Peep.
No. The cowboy girl. Jessie. Jeez. Yeah, so you had Jessie, you had Woody, you had Buzz Lightyear. You also had Monsters University characters. So you had Mike Wazowski, and you had Sully. You had Randall as well was in that set. They also had the Cars characters. They had Mater and they had Lightning McQueen. They had a couple other ones from Cars 2. They had just a ton of different characters, as well as some of the standard Disney kind of characters. There was Donald Duck. There was Daisy Duck. um, boy, I'm just that was a long time ago. Oh, and then they did the entire set of the Incredibles. So the whole family of the Incredibles was in there along with Syndrome. So that was cool. But each one of those sets of characters had their own play set. So there was a Toy Story play set, and it was like Buzz Lightyear themed. And then you did different things on different planets, on the planet. And so that was cool. And you play with the aliens and all that stuff. And then with Toy Story, with Cars, they had they had Radiator Springs, and you played around there, and you had some racing stuff, and you had different things you could build. So it was really cool. So that was really fun with the first one. They have a thing called the Toy Box that's outside of the basic play sets where you can go ahead and build your own stuff. And it was pretty basic, but it was still really a very innovative thing. It was something new. It was something really cool. I had hours of fun with that. And my kids still would play the 1.0, just to pull out the characters and play with them. Mm-hmm. So in 1.0, one of the cool things they introduced were crystal figures. And they were clear versions of the regular figures for like Mr. Incredible, for Sully, for Lightning McQueen, and they had Lone Ranger playset for that first one as well. So there was a Lone Ranger crystal figure. So
So what did the crystal figures give you extra abilities?
Well, they had a really neat unlockable in the game. The crystal figures were just like an ultimate figure, and they really didn't have anything extra in the original series. But they were just cool collectibles. I mean, they were harder to get, a little more expensive, that kind of thing. Some of them were Toys R Us exclusives. So they were a little more difficult to find. But they tried to be able to give you something that was something you could play with and something you could collect. And they were kind of going for that idea. So in the game itself, inside the toy box, you have a thing called the Hall of Heroes. And in the Hall of Heroes, you can go in and see all the different characters that you've collected in your collection. So every time you buy a character and you put it on that platform, you own that character.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that character levels up with you playing it, then let's say she gets to level 5. So in level 5, she can do different things. You can unlock different abilities on the skill tree. Skill tree is pretty cool. She get points each level that you can assign to different skills on the tree, and then it unlocks new skills. So if I decided then one of my kids is going to come in and be on their profile and want to play with Ahsoka, they would put her on the platform and it would say, do you want to take ownership of this character? And they'd say, oh no, that's my dad's, But when they played her, they'd play her at level 5.
Okay.
So the character, it stored, even if you take this to another person's platform and play, that level is stored within the character.
Oh, okay.
So that's really, really cool. So I like that.
So that platform writes data then?
I guess. Yeah, I really don't know the details of that, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, very, very neat. You all right?
Yeah, kick the table. We're good.
So very neat process. Anyway, for that, and 1.0, was 2 years ago. So then last year they came out with a 2.0 version. Well, and I'm sorry, one more thing in 1.0 that really was the big tease for all of us fans of Disney stuff, and knowing that they had gotten the license for Star Wars and they were starting to work on Star Wars 7 was, one of the Star Wars characters is going to come out. And in 1.0, they're like, we can't tell you anything. Well, if you collected all of the basic characters and your Hall of Heroes was full, this thing unlocked in the middle of it, and it was like, da-da-da. And when you jumped up and grabbed this package, then your character could use a lightsaber.
Oh, wow, nice.
So that was really cool. And there were different tools you could unlock in the play sets and in the toy box that you could use with your characters. But to have that lightsaber, I was like, okay, that's the ultimate tease right there. We know there's going to be Star Wars characters. When's it going to happen? Mm-hmm. So 2.0 came out. And we're like, okay, Star Wars playsets. And they're like, nah, no Star Wars playsets. But there were some Guardians of the Galaxy. There was, Avengers. They did the whole Marvel release of characters. So you got Spider-Man playset with Venom and Green Goblin. And you got Nick Fury. And you got all the Avengers characters, Thor, Loki, Iron Man, Hulk. There was Black Widow,
like
Hawkeye.
Marvel.
Yeah, it was right when Avengers was coming out. So no X-Men, no Fantastic Four. Nope. It was just Disney-owned Marvel characters. Now, there was Iron Fist and Luke Cage. So that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, there was some really neat characters. I think there was Luke Cage.
No,
there was just Iron Fist in that, but it was all the Spider-Man playset. Yeah, the stuff that's coming out on Netflix. Yep. No Daredevil though, so that's something to look forward to. But it was cool. So, and you had the Guardians of the Galaxy guys. So you had Rocket, and you had Groot, and you had Drax, and you had Peter Quill, and you had
Galaxy.
Yeah. So and it was really fun. They had their own play sets. You could go and fly ships and blow crap up. It was awesome. Nice. There was a Yondu character in that as well. So just some really fun stuff. So that introduced, ships and being able to fly around and do stuff. And then the skill tree, like I said before, each of the characters had their own unique skill tree. And even the 1.0 characters were playable in 2.0, and they had a basic skill tree, and some of them had special abilities, but nothing as fancy as the 2.0 characters, of course. So Still, we're sitting here waiting for the Star Wars stuff, right? So 3.0 is announced, of course, Star Wars. They're doing Twilight of the Empire, and this has Anakin and Ahsoka. And in this series as well, we see Ezra Bridger. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we also, I got to find a place to sit these. We also see, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. And his sculpt is really pretty cool. I like that. We also have, since we have Ezra, we have to have Sabine Wren. It's a pretty cool sculpt there. And I'm sorry I haven't opened these. I should have probably opened them and I could show them off a little better.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, I basically just got this box yesterday and just I opened the game and I was like playing it and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And we get a Yoda. Can't beat a little Yoda with the green lightsaber there in a fighting stance. Pretty cool. We also have Kanan Jarrus.
Oh, nice.
Another Jedi.
Oh, that's Kanan.
Yeah, that's Kanan from Rebels.
From the book.
Isn't he from Rebels?
Kanan?
Yeah.
But it didn't okay. Well, I'm just saying the actual comic.
The Last
Padawan.
The Last Padawan. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this is, and from Rebels. I mean, that's what this is kind of going along with the Rebels story.
Cool.
The Star Wars Rebel story. And then we have Zeb Orrelios.
I read the book.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, so if you're reading the comic, the Kanan the Last Padawan, you'll notice that some of these characters are familiar. There's several characters that are still to come out. They haven't released yet. There's Luke, there's Leia, there's Han, there's Chewie. There's going to be a whole Star Wars playset, another playset with the New Hope characters, and then this whole set with the Star Wars Rebels characters. So I think this is... Yeah, there's also, and they always do like an exclusive. So in this one, they did an exclusive in the PS4 edition, and that was a Boba Fett character. And I'm hoping that it's an early release, and we'll see Boba Fett available some other way. Because if I can't get Boba Fett, I mean that's really gonna suck. Anyway,
yeah, gotta have Boba Fett.
Yeah. So some really neat stuff in this playset. One of the other things that they did, and this. The Twilight of the Republic, they released these things called power discs. And power discs can also go on the spot where your playset is, or they can go underneath your character. So you'll see there's one round there. Mm-hmm. And that one is the Galactic Team Up with Mace Windu. So you'll take your character, which is round, and you'll set the power disc on the base and then put the character on top, and you'll be able to call Mace Windu to fight with you as a character, fight alongside you.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty cool.
Get some backup.
Yeah, yep. And then the other power discs are General Grievous's wheel bike, Skies over Felucia, and the Forest over Felucia, and they go into or they go underneath your playset piece, and they introduce additional toys or props or whatever into the game. So you'll get the bike, the wheel bike from General Grievous that you'll be able to use as a drivable vehicle. And then the Skies over Felucia and the Forest of Felucia, they allow you to change your background in the playset or in the toy box. So you can either kind of redo like a theme for your whole playset, or the background, the sky can change. So in the Marvel one, there was a really cool Hulk background that was like an atomic skies kind of thing, a gamma size. That was cool. So pretty neat. But you can pick these up in the last two, 1 and 2. They've done like packages, blind packages that you get 2 power discs in, and you tear them open. You go, oh, what did I get? And they're random assortments of different power discs. But then they also have this, so you can get all the power discs for Twilight of the Republic. So it's a neat way to add to your game. If you don't want to get them, you don't get them. I mean, you don't have to. It's not a requirement, but it is pretty cool that those are available. So great stuff for Star Wars fans. I mean, really, really an added, a great addition to this game. The toy box itself, much, much more powerful in this. In one, you had a fairly limited amount of space. My kids would build a world and they'd be like, I'm out of space. I don't know what I have to delete to make some more room for this other thing I want to build. So then in 2.0, they made it like 4 times as big. I mean, it was just huge. And now what they've done is they've just made the space ginormous. So your toy boxes are, can be huge. They're really leveraging the processing power of the new platforms, the current gen platforms, to optimize that toy box experience. So you can build worlds, and they have videos. They have Disney Infinity TV, and if you go to their website, and I'll have a link to the website in the comment or the description box down below, so you can check out all the cool stuff that they have. And people build these worlds, and actually with 3.0, they hired people who were members of the Disney Infinity community, players who were designing worlds, and they picked so many of them to come and work for Disney to build new worlds for 3.0.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I mean, you got people who are, deeply involved in building stuff for themselves and just having fun and putting stuff out there for other people to download, because you can go out and download other people's worlds. And to have this, this thing now where, hey, these people have this great opportunity to build something that's really going to be right in the game.
And get a paycheck.
And not just a mod. So it's really cool. So anyway, that's cool. So, if we ended there, most people would be like, yay, Star Wars, that's awesome. But that is nowhere near the end for 3.0. One of the things that they released this time is the Toy Box Takeover. And you can see you get your Disney characters, Star Wars, and Marvel all in one. And what this does is this introduces a lot of additional gameplay into the Toy Box for 3.0. This is an add-on. It gives you a bunch of stuff dumped right into it, and it's cool because it comes in and it looks like 2 crossed swords.
Yep. Okay.
And it's just a little thing, it's a square, so it'll go on your Disney Infinity base as your play set, and it loads all this kind of pre-constructed data right into your toy box and allows you to jump in and start doing stuff right away. So that's really cool, because sometimes you don't want to take the time to an hour or whatever to build a cool play set and then go, okay, well, I just built it. Do I want to play in it? Now I want to go do something else. So this way you got some preloaded stuff that's
that you can already get going on.
Yeah. So if you just want to jump right in and have fun, that's a great option. So you can find that in stores as well. Toy Box Takeover is out along with the starter set. You definitely have to have the starter set to play. Last, with 2.0, they introduced just a toy box version of the game that had, I think it had Merida and Stitch, Merida from Brave and Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, and I can't remember if there was another character. I think it was just the 2 characters, and then it had the game. And so it was kind of a toned down version. You didn't really get anything else with it, but it was just something you could get to play, because the Marvel starter set had 3 characters. You had Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow, I think, were your 3 that you started with. So it's pretty cool. So, but again, we're not done yet. That was Star Wars stuff. We have other play sets that I'll show you, and some other characters that that were released right now. And we know there's other stuff coming down the road as well. So we just haven't seen it all.
Each year it gets bigger and bigger.
Yep. I mean, with the first series, I think there were maybe 40 pieces. And that doesn't include the crystals. And then last time you had the original 40 you could play with, and then they released another 30, I think, maybe, with all the Marvel heroes, and then all of the some other Disney stuff. And one of the cool things, and I have an extra one here that I didn't open, was one of the crystal figures. You can see how he's, I don't know if you can see that, Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey.
Yeah.
Let's see how he's crystal.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really a cool one. Found that at Best Buy, so I went ahead and bought 2 of them and put one away just in case. You never know.
So do the old ones, like, can you play with the characters from 1 on 3?
Yep, you can.
The only little piece over to it.
Yep, the only things you can't port forward are the play sets. So if you have the Toy Story play set from 1.0, you cannot play that in 2.0 or 3.0.
Gotcha.
But all the characters are playable in 1, 2, and 3. So that's really cool. You don't have to go out and buy a whole new set of characters
every time.
Yeah. I mean, you want to buy the new stuff, obviously, but you don't have to. You don't have to do that to be able to play. So in 2.0, near the end of the set, they released Baymax and what's his name? The kid Yoji, or no? What's his name?
Oh, from Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyway, the kid and Baymax, and then they had a few other characters that they released right at the end. And there were 2 that were downloadable only. And you could go and download them off the Disney Infinity website. Well, with 3.0, they have released both of those characters as actual figures. And this was pretty cool because I love this movie. I wanted to see these characters, and that is Korra and Sam from Tron Legacy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So you can see Korra with her sword there.
Yep.
Pretty cool sculpt. And Sam Flynn in his armor with his identity disc. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really like that. So that was neat, So now, you got light cycles, you've got the interceptors, you got all the different characters from that you can play with. In fact, the interceptors, the big red things with, big monster things, you can drive them.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty cool. Yep. It's neat to have those drivable characters or drivable vehicles, and that was one thing. I did do an interview with the folks who, and I'll do another article with some information there from that interview. And we talked about a lot of different things. And we talked about, because, hey, Star Wars, are we going to see a Millennium Falcon piece? Are we going to see Slave One? Are we going to see a TIE Fighter, X-Wing, whatever? And they said, they really were back and forth on that, debated that a lot, because those are classic, iconic, almost like characters in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Millennium Falcon, and they said if they did that with the vehicles like that, then they would have to do it with a lot of other things, and they just didn't want to expand the world that way. So they're going to be drivables within the game, but you won't actually get a character piece. So, excuse me.
I can see that. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool. My daughter, the first thing she asked is, "Are they going to have animals?" I was like, "Well, not unless it's a character."
Jar Jar.
So they threw in some. Yeah, I haven't seen Jar Jar yet. I think
they're not going to do that. I don't.
Yeah,
I think they're just trying to forget. Everybody's just trying to forget Jar Jar. So.
Jar Jar who?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, but didn't you ever read about how he was really the savior of everybody? Like, if it weren't for him,
he's the one who started it all. It's all his fault. It's all his fault.
Okay. Anyway, so we have Olaf from Frozen. I don't know if his power is singing or just being stupid and getting impaled. We'll see. But
he's basically immortal, isn't he? He just kind of falls apart and puts it back together. So
yeah, really.
Super healing factor.
Yep, nothing can stop him except warm hugs.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have another Disney character, Mulan.
Oh, nice.
Actually dressed like a woman, so I wonder if we'll have a bunch of people up in arms about that. Anyway.
This is like after she the queen or something.
I don't know. Anyway, then we have two classic characters that are also released for this set, and that is a regular Mickey Mouse.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool. Nice sculpt there for him. And can't have Mickey without Minnie.
That's right.
So regular Minnie Mouse. Pretty cool that they're playable characters. Now, these two don't have, just like Mulan and Olaf, don't have a play set of their own. And so if you put down the, you can't take these guys back to 2.0 and 1.0 and play them, but you can play them in the 3.0 world. So if you have the Twilight of the Republic playset and you want to put Mickey Mouse in there, you're not going to be able to do that. The playsets are designed specifically for the characters for those playsets.
Right.
But in the toy box, all of these characters are playable, and any of the toy box loadable stuff. So if you get the toy box, what's it called? Sorry, I dropped it here. Where'd I put it?
You threw it on the ground.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. The Toy Box Takeover. Sorry. If I get the Toy Box Takeover expansion and load it in and I put Mickey Mouse in there, I can play Mickey Mouse in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool because it's a toy box. It's basically a toy box designed world. So that's a cool function. I really like that ability of playing, characters you wouldn't always expect. One of the other kind of odd characters that they included in the last set was Phineas and Ferb and the platypus, Agent P or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So those three characters were included in the last in 2.0. Just kind of odd, it's like one-off. It's like, yeah. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of a different thing. So, and the last thing that was released this last week, and so we'll see more figures as time goes by. They usually release the initial blast of figures, and then they have so many staged over the coming months. But they did release a playset for Inside Out.
Oh, wow, that was quick.
And so in here you have joy and you have anger, and it's really cool. I really like this playset. It's really, really, really neat because they're taking some of the best things of the toy box, which were things like being able to create a game, and they're turning this part of it into a platformer, a side-scrolling kind of platformer at different times. So you can jump in and you could do different things. They have some stuff in just the intro. When you do the intro, they run you through some of the basics of the characters and the different play sets that are out there. And in this one, you have to collect the memories of the little girl. And so one of the memories is sitting out there and you have to jump on these different things, and you can pick up, like I played as Joy, and I could pick up anger and jump up on these different things and collect the memory. It's pretty cool. And there's different, different things that activate different pieces. And so it's really neat. And that's one of the things in the interview I'll talk about when I do my article about how they have really developed the actual game production, within the toy box. So it's not just setting up, Cinderella's castle and a few other things and driving around with a car and blowing stuff up. It's not just dropping in a villain creator and killing the villains to collect coins to go buy more stuff. It's about being able to put together a racetrack with different things on it and actually have a race, or do something that allows you to play a game where, so many characters are generated from the villain generator, and when you kill them all, then you reach a score and you move on to the next level. So it's really cool. In 2.0, they developed the ability to put a world within a world within a world. So you build a toy box world, you put a door in, and you could go through that door into another toy box world. But it would look like you could build a house with a door in front of it. Went through that door, your next toy box world could be the inside of the house.
I get you.
So
cool.
It was really cool. They did some really neat stuff with it. Very, very flexible platform. It's great. My kids sit there and play Minecraft for hours, but now that they know, hey, 3.0 came out, they're going to get on there and they're going to get the toy box and they're going to build all kinds of stuff. They're going to play with all the things. They're going to play the play sets, and they're going to collect all the toys, the different props and stuff from all the play sets and all the different achievements you can get. And then they're going to build more stuff. And so as more characters come out, every character you put on unlocks stuff in the toy box. So it's just a really neat game.
Cool.
Yeah, but 3.0 is available out there at Disney Infinity. Definitely check that out. Their website is, like I said, I'll put that down at the bottom. But yeah, anything else I can talk about with Disney Infinity? This is just a cool game. I love it.
Well, I think that pretty much says it all. It's a cool game. Okay. You've got 1, 2, and now you have 3. So that in and of itself says something. It keeps your kids entertained. So that makes it priceless, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
So it's a lot of fun. And that's one thing. I keep wanting to go back to 1 and play 1 again, because there were missions within 1. Like I played the Lone Ranger playset almost all the way through and finished. I think I unlocked everything in that.
Nice.
But as a completionist, I want to go back and do all of the playsets, and I want to unlock everything, because then that unlocks things as you move forward throughout the toy box stuff. Plus there's achievements out there, and then there's feats that you can do, and the feats earn you different points, and it's pretty cool because there's things within the toy box that only unlock at certain things. Like they had in 2.0 and 1.0, I think they had a spinner, and it was like a square with a bunch of things, and you'd use a spin, and the little lighted box would go around, and it would pick one, and then you get that item added to your toy box arsenal to be able to use when you're building. So cool. The more spins you got, the more options you had. And I remember going in one time with like 40 spins because I'd gone and played a bunch of play sets. And then I'm like, spin, 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 spin. And spin, you get everything on the screen, and then it resets and you have a new screen to pick from. So there was some cool stuff, though, that you could only get through the spins. And so you're really looking to get, like the Tron figures. And there's little townspeople that are smaller than your regular figures, and they run around. You have a house. It's like your interior, because Disney Infinity, so it's your interior. Mm-hmm. You can build the house inside however you want. You can decorate and do all kinds of stuff, and it's pretty cool. You put your trophies in there and different things, so it's a lot of fun. But it's really taking so many components.
It's called Infinity, and there are a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy characters. And isn't there Nova also? Can you get Nova?
There is Nova, from Star Wars. Or I'm sorry, from the Spider-Man set,
Okay, so you could make like your own version of Infinity, the storyline.
Good. The only thing you don't have is Thanos.
Yeah.
Not yet.
You can figure that out with get somebody would be purple.
Yeah.
You need some purple.
And who knows? I mean, with when Infinity Gauntlet comes out, I mean, we're bound to see. I would expect Thanos and some more Marvel characters. So, this.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's a. I don't know. Has anybody done that yet? Is anybody starting to do that? I wonder if there's like playthroughs and stuff of people building like comic book sets in there.
I don't know, because like with Spider-Man, you have a whole Spider-Man world.
Yeah.
And you could swing through the streets and you do all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. You had a black suit you could get, and then of course you had Venom and Green Goblin you could fight. So that was cool. It was a cool addition. Nice. And then with Hulk, you had like a destroyed world, and you had the gamma irradiated skies, and Hulk could climb buildings and he could smash stuff, and so it was pretty neat. But there was. There's always like the Avengers playset was really cool because it was Avengers Tower, and you're bashing your way through it, trying to stop whoever. And then you in the Spider-Man when you go through Oscorp, and I actually played the beginning of that as Green Goblin smashing through Oscorp. So that was kind of funny because you're supposed to we have to stop, or we have to stop Osborn, and you're like, yes, I would. So
let him destroy his own building first.
Yeah. It was awesome. But yeah, they introduced the villains, in 2.0, and the villains were just a cool new addition. So you had Venom, you had Loki, you had Green Goblin. There were a couple other ones. Yondu was sort of a villainish character. And there was Ronan the Accuser. Trying to think who else. I think that was it for the major villains. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So who knows what we'll see. I know we're going to see another Star Wars play set. And that'll be kind of a Hoth playset. So you'll have, the AT-ATs and all that kind of stuff. So something cool to look forward to. They've shown on the footage the snow speeders doing the grapple thing on the AT-ATs. So that'll be pretty cool. In the previews, when you play the initial tutorial, one of the scenes that you play is piloting the Millennium Falcon through asteroid fields and shooting up these things. And the final scene, as you come through the asteroid field, is the big worm thing coming up out of the asteroid, and you have to fly around it. So it's pretty cool. Yeah,
just great little things like that in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. The graphics on it are amazing. The sculpts on the characters are really beautiful. The only problem I've ever had with one, and this is just because my daughter fell on it, and it was Maleficent, and her head snapped off. That was it. They're tough. Oh yeah. Characters still playable. The sculpt could be all melted and whatever, but as long as that base is solid, you can still play it. So it's pretty neat. But it's a game worth picking up. If you haven't picked it up yet, definitely go out and check out 3.0. It's a lot of fun. It's playable. I mean, some games you want to finish and you get done, and you're like, I don't want to replay that. I'm gonna go trade it at GameStop. But this one, it's well worth it. So
nice. That's normally that's one of my highest criteria for a game is replayability.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the playset itself, you know, the nice thing is the playsets have they're mission based. So you have different missions you can play, but sometimes you have missions that spring off, and you could go do all kinds of things. Plus, then there's finding different items within the game, and there's the feats. Each playset has a string of feats that you can do, and doing a feat gets you additional points. There's just all kinds of, just so many different things. Plus, then the skill trees for each character are different. So every time you play a character, you level that character up all the way. You can reset them and then level them up differently based on how you play their skill tree. Because even leveling them up to the max, you won't get enough points to unlock all of their skill tree items. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now, I haven't loaded any of the 1.0 or 2.0 characters onto my 3.0 yet. So I don't know how they play, but I do know that they are playable. I just haven't seen it yet. So something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yep. But cool stuff. So that's Disney Infinity 3.0 from Disney Interactive. They're a great bunch of folks. Been really good to work with them for the last couple of years. Look forward to the new stuff. When we get new figures, I'll definitely be showing them off to you. And, give us some comments. Let us know if you've played this game, if you think it's interesting, and what you think about it. We appreciate any shares, likes, all that stuff. Definitely subscribe to the channel so that you'll be able to see all the cool stuff when it comes out.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.